Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Che Dorena and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. The Bay Area is home to some of the biggest tech companies in the world and some of the best weather conditions and insanely high real estate prices. But beyond that, there are some really great urban legends to go along with all the overpriced bagels. And that's why I'm bringing you today's list of top 10 scary San Francisco urban legends. If you haven't seen part 1, then you should go check that out right now. Landon did an amazing job on it. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also stick around for the whole list because we're going to be doing some bloopers at the end of this video. If any of you at home need some more Most Amazing Top 10 content, then check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Anyone who needs some merch, you should check out the link in the description below. Use the offer code MA10 that will give you $5 off. And right before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Raid. Raid is one of the most incredible mobile games ever, and it's now on your PC and Mac. The transfer from Raid on the phone to Raid on the PC has given it some major buffs. The first thing you're going to notice is the major increase in graphical power. You can push that rig to its full potential. Also, you can use a new intuitive control scheme because you have a mouse and keyboard now. There's cross-platform play, so you can take your account from your PC right onto your phone. The installation and registration process is super quick, and if your tower isn't super powerful, don't worry. You don't need a maxed out system to enjoy the beautiful graphics and gameplay. There are over 400 champions to collect and customize. I would say my favorite champion is Dracomorph because he is literally a dragon. What would you want more out of a champion? It's a dragon. It's super cool. Oh, and best of all, this game is free to download and to play. This game already has over 15 million playing it right now, so matchmaking will not be a problem and you can make so many cool new friends through this game. I'm loving it so far. If you want to join me, just look for my nickname, Most Amazing. Shoot me an invite and join my clan. You can start playing right now by hitting the link in the description below. Make sure you do it there. You get 50,000 free silver and a free epic champion to start your new player program. And now that we've given a huge shout out to our sponsor, let's get into this list. At number 10 we have Ghost Cow. What am I talking about? This sounds ridiculous but also a little spooky, and that's why it's a perfect way to kick off this list. There are several islands off the coast of San Francisco. One is the Yerba Buena Island. This island used to be a hotspot for all sorts of sailors and pirates. They would stop there to camp and they would get so drunk that they would throw up all over the boat the next day. But also something else they would do was go hunting, and legend says a group of pirates went hunting on the island and found a little baby cow. The pirates are a lawless bunch, so they don't really have any qualms about killing an infant animal. But the mom of this little baby cow went looking for her calf and couldn't find her and then cried all night. And now it's said you can still hear the cries of this mama cow on the Yerba Buena Island. At number 9 we have the dogs outnumber children. The dogs run San Francisco and things are gonna start changing around here. There are gonna be snacko bars on every corner and leashes are outlawed. Also, the only jobs left for humans are door openers and poop disposal man. This one is more of a new aged urban legend. If you've ever been to San Fran, you know that the dog population is insane. I don't know how people can afford the crazy rent and haircuts for a poodle, but they make it work. If you're scared of dogs, then this place would sound like hell on earth. A bunch of jagged tooth beasts running around a city. The only thing that could stop them is a very big vacuum cleaner. But for someone like me, who absolutely loves dogs, this actually sounds like a paradise. It would take me an extra 40 minutes to get to work every day because I would have to stop and pet every dog. You can't just pet one dog because the other dogs will know because they can smell it on you, and then they get sad because you pet another dog and not them, so you gotta pet all the dogs. It's only fair. At number 8 we have rogue fire hydrants. There's a legend that an Oakland man was killed by a rogue fire hydrant. I thought those things were put in place to help people and tell me where I'm not allowed to park, not mysteriously kill people. It was 2007 and a fire hydrant exploded. A piece flew into the side of a man's car, it destroyed his tire and sent the guy speeding into a pole, killing him on impact. At least that's what the legend says. I don't know if anyone would have suspected something like that could ever happen. I bet his ghost is still like, I don't believe this. I'm being pranked right now. Where's Ashton? At number 7 we have a zombie horse jockey. Not the scariest of the zombie athletes unless they're on top of a zombie horse. That actually sounds like the most ridiculous, scary thing that I have ever heard of. There's a legend in San Francisco about a jockey from the 30s who was pronounced dead and then his body got up and walked away. Probably to go bet on horse racing while he gnawed on someone's scalp. I'm assuming that's what a zombie jockey would do. But this legend is somewhat steeped in truth. In 1936, a jockey by the name of Ralph Neves fell off his horse during a race and was stepped on repeatedly. He was pronounced dead on sight. They slapped a toe tag on him and sent him to the big cold morgue. You know where they have those big fridges for the dead bodies. But before they actually got the opportunity to send him, he came back to life. He was incredibly injured but not dead. You know what they say, you can never kill a jockey. Actually, I just made that up. At number 6, we have the streets are paved with dead bodies. If you want your city to flourish and become the cornerstone of a country where people want to go to build a life, you need paved roads. There's an old legend about San Fran back in the late 1800s. The city needed some paved roads so they could finally be taken seriously. But they didn't have the money or the materials, so they started using dead bodies and bones, and it worked really well. Well, the legend might be true, but here's something that's super strange that I know for sure is true. Many of the streets in San Francisco are actually paved with guns. The road crisis was a real thing, and people donated some of their guns so the city could use the wood and metal to help build the streets. At number 5, we have the light bulb of doom. Jesus, we got ghost cow, zombie jockey, too many dogs, now light ball of doom. It sounds like a pitch meeting for a horror movie that has the budget of a bag of chips and encouragement from someone's grandma. But this one is actually very interesting. In Livermore, there's a fire station that has the longest living light bulb. How long do you think this bad boy has been going for? 20 years? 50 years? Try over 100 years. This thing has been going strong since 1901, and Apple can't even make an iPhone that stays fast longer than 8 months. But there are some spooky tales that go along with this light bulb. Some people say that when it goes out, it could bring on a fire that is so violent no fire station could put it out. Others say that there's a spirit of a dead firefighter who wants the light to stay burning for his colleague. With the California wildfires coming closer and closer, this urban legend seems eerily possible. At number 4, we have the Condor Club hauntings. One of the most famous clubs in all of San Francisco, this place has been around for over 50 years. So it should be no surprise that there are some spirits that go along with this place. The most famous being the ghost of a bouncer who was crushed by a piano. That is such a Looney Tunes way to die. The next guy who dies there is probably going to be blown up by a stick of dynamite. His ghost has been spotted standing outside of the club. It's crazy how when people die on the job, their ghosts just go back to work in the afterlife. Like, you're dead, do whatever you want. At number 3 of the Legion of Honor hauntings. The Legion of Honor is one of the oldest standing monuments in San Francisco. It was built back in the 1800s and now stands as a museum. Since then, it has been the beacon of all sorts of supernatural happenings. People have heard moaning, screaming, and even entire groups of ghosts walking through the museum. And there is a very good reason why this place is haunted. In 1994, there were some major updates that needed to be done to this building. The construction workers had to excavate underneath the Legion of Honor, and they found over 800 dead bodies. It's assumed that most of these people couldn't afford proper burials. They removed all the bodies they found, but it's suspected that there are hundreds more buried on the property. At number 2, we have Shark Bay. Let's keep the theme going of cheesy movie titles. There's an urban legend that the San Francisco Bay is littered with sharks. If you were afraid of swimming in it before, then this is only going to heighten your fear. Apparently, it was one of the main deterrents that kept people in Alcatraz prison. There was no way any of them wanted to try and make the swim to safety because they thought they would all end up fish food. That's basically the best security system you could ever install. Your security detail is a bunch of man-eating sharks, and you don't need to pay them anything. You just pay them in fish guts. There's literally only one thing I can think of that would make that better.
Sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
And for our number 1 spot, we have AIDS needles. This has been an urban legend in many places, but it was especially present in San Francisco because there has been a history of intravenous drug use. This has been one of the scariest things I could ever imagine, but there have been tales of a psychopath infected with AIDS who would fill needles with their AIDS-infected blood. They would then go somewhere busy where it would be hard to notice them, like a concert or a movie theater. And the legend always says they would go somewhere dark or a place where people are inebriated. Then when no one's looking, they would inject people with their AIDS-infected blood, knowingly spreading their disease and using it as a weapon. In some more horrific versions of this tale, the maniac follows the person home so they can leave them notes and continue to torment them after they've already ruined their life. This tale has been around for a long time, so it's safe to say it's not true, but it's still one of the scariest things I can think of. Alright everyone, that is our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I'd love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also, if you need more Most Amazing Top 10 content, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We're starting to do Facebook exclusive content. Until next time, I've been Jade Arena, and actually this kind of made me want to go to San Francisco more. I need to see those dogs. If you want your city to flourish and you want to become the corner store and you want to become and if you want your city to flourish and become the cornerstone of a country where and people donated some of their guns so they could and Apple can't even make an iPhone that